Hope everyone's doing well. If you haven't been to the channel before, my name is EQ and welcome to Stonkaholics. Sorry for the wait, ladies and gentlemen, but I am finally back. I went down to Miami for a couple days to go see my family, to go to Bitcoin 2021, and we had to go to Shitcoin 2021 to go see what kind of madness there was. It was a good time, needless to say, but ready to get back to it. So today we're going to be going over Solana. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it before, but if you haven't, they're doing a lot of things that no one else is offering right now. Take a little digging for me to find that stuff out, but even at a $10 billion market cap, as you can see, it's still a valuable spot. We're currently sitting ranked 16th at a $36 price. Circulating supply right now is at 272.6 million, and we have an infinite supply, and the total supply is at 494.5 million. So you can see they've burnt a decent amount of SOL so far. And going to their website, you're going to be able to build crypto apps at scale. You can see it is fast, secure, and censorship resistant. The total transactions are flying right now. It processes at a ridiculous amount of transactions per second. You can see they're working with Terra, Chainlink, Tether, Trust Wallet. There's a bunch of big names on here. So you can see Solana can process 50,000 transactions a second, and you can run a stress test of the network to experience the speed for yourself, which is pretty absurd. So say goodbye to high fees and slow confirmations. So Solana is going to be leveraging proof of history, which we're going to be going over a little bit later, and several other breakthrough innovations to allow the network to scale at the rate of Moore's law. It's a low cost, so you never have to worry about rising fees as your user base grows. It's designed to keep fees low for apps and everything else, no matter if there's billions of users. And it's composable, which means that the single global state ensures composability between projects, so you never deal with multiple shards or two-layer systems. Going into the three things that they're going to be offering that are new, it's going to be proof of history, POH. POH works simultaneously with proof of work and proof of stake, which is what most of the other cryptos go off of. So it's a complementary system, so it's not necessarily competing with anyone, so that's a huge advantage for SOL. Now they also have what's called POREP, which is proof of replication, and the combination of POREP and proof of history provides a defense against forgery. So proof of history is a sequence of computation that can provide a way to cryptographically verify passage of time between two events. It's used as a secure function written so that output cannot be predicted from the input and must be completely executed to generate the output. The function is run in a sequence on a single core, and its previous output as the current input, periodically recording the current output and how many times it's been called. The output can then be recomputed and verified by external computers in parallel by checking each sequence segment on a separate core. So the data essentially is getting time-stamped, which is going to allow you to guarantee that the data was created sometime before the next hash was generated in the sequence. And it also supports horizontal scaling, as multiple generators can synchronize amongst each other by mixing their state into each other's sequences. And just a quick little touch on proof of replication, you can see that Filecoin proposed a version of POR. The goal of this version is to have fast and streaming verifications of proof of replication, which are enabled by keeping track of time and proof of history generated sequence. Replication is not used as a consensus algorithm, but is a useful tool to account for the cost of storing the blockchain history or state at a high availability. There's a ton of stuff that you can go through within this white paper if you want to jump into SOL. They basically go over every little detail, so it's super transparent. And going to the fun part that everyone loves, the charts. Going before, you can see that I have this consolidation channel. Before we got the double fake out, which is always fun. Technically it was a triple fake out. We came all the way up, it looked like we were about to get support, and we pushed outside of the channel. I was hoping that we were going to find some sort of support around the $50, $51 range. Instead, we took a nice little dump and came shooting through the bottom all the way down to $26 within a 4-hour period. That was just the first taste. This came back up and gave us the fake out that we were staying back in channel, and that we got the retracement we needed to start pushing. Instead, price came back down, faked us out again, came back up, made this nice wick, faked us out again, and came down. Now the first signal that we were going to come down, did a little around, is you have these resistance areas. You had almost 5-6 candles that were resisted at the bottom of the channel, which meant that no matter what, price couldn't get back in, which was a signal that we were going to break back down. And you can see volume was extremely high in these areas. This was probably the worst of it because you had this massive dip going down, and then you had a huge green volume candle, which probably was a buy signal for most people. And then next thing you know, it shit the bed. Now you can see we're falling into the second channel. We just were able to break out of this channel, looking to hold support, and this support is being held right now on the EMAs, which are all stacked. But based on this last move out of the channel, we can see the fib retracement came down to the golden ratio, 6180 for a normal impulse move. So if this wants to break back up, we could potentially see price go anywhere from $44 to $51. Depending on how far it wants to go up. Keep in mind we have some nice resistances on this side. There's a nice major SR at $42 and another major SR at the $45, $46 range. So this TP1 and TP2 are going to be pretty detrimental to see if we'll get to TP3, which is outside of this channel. So I don't think it's going to happen just yet. I think this will make its way back into the channel, maybe test the top at TP2 and then start to work back down and find support. Now you can see the volume is starting to pick up a little bit more. Our RSI did hit resistance at the 70 and came back down and was able to find support before the 50. So it is staying bullish for now, looking for this to push back up and hopefully break this resistance. And on the STO RSI, you can see we are starting to push down into the oversold area, which is good. Hopefully we can get down and start to push back up. Now what I like to see on the price average is that we are finally starting to break at and over the zero, which can signal a nice impulse move. Based on the history, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So once price got around this $48 to $50 range, you can see the price average starting to go down and down and down and down, even though price was kind of going up. Now my first signal that I would have been considering a sell is watching this hit the zero line. You still would have been able to get out around the $50 range. So I would have seen something like that. I would have seen if the STO RSI wanted to make an additional move, we got that cross and that final push up to the $56 range. So you could have sold at that top. And then from there, you can see price breaks under the zero going into bearish, and that's when we start this real nice downfall. Now price average is starting to come back up. Once this breaks over again, we're looking to get a nice impulse move back up. All in all, we're staying bullish on SOL. We could keep up with Ethereum and the other ones, so we're at a $10 billion market cap, but if we want to get to 100 billion, that's not anything too crazy. You're still talking about a 10 times move, so $360 from where we're at right now, $363 to be specific. Now keep in mind the market can still go down. We might be seeing a dead cat bounce. If you want to learn more about that, join our Discord group. I'm going to add a link in the description for that. We just made it free for our beginners tier for the next 24 hours. So make sure you take advantage of that and join our Discord while it's free. If you hadn't had a chance before, make sure to throw a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. That'd be greatly appreciated. And we'll see you on the next video.